navigate these arms that are going to be firing off on all cylinders.
It's going to be going ahead and getting started on PS2, one of Min-Miin's favorite stages, and this is just the Peckham special. Find that that space underneath the platform towards the corner and throw those arms.
Call it my happy place, if you will.
It's definitely not the opponent's happy place.
And these arms are definitely being thrown right now. Arsen's about to come alive, and that's because Peckham has just been pelting away at dansdaman.
I hate to break it to you. In this matchup, Arsen might be worse in certain situations, and the specific situation where Arsen is worse is recovery. It's much easier to two-frame Arsen's recovery with the Ram than it is to get the tether recovery, because you can obviously mix up timing on the tether whenever you want, because you tether on, and then you hit the button again to come back to stage. With the Arsen recovery, the fly, you know when they're going to be hitting that ledge, so it's much easier to hit that two-frame, and Peckham already demonstrated it a couple of times. And bye-bye, that's the Megawatt Nair.
It hits hard, okay? It's basically always an Arsen. And I mean, dansdaman, this is just looking difficult. You were already saying Joker loses this matchup, and Peckham is showing exactly why. dansdaman just cannot get in.
Oh, Arsen comes out and saves him from a laser right there, but he is yet to be able to really get in the stage. That first big stage control that dansdaman has been able to take. Going to be punishing Peckham pretty hard for it, though, because once Min-Miin does get into disadvantage, she does struggle quite a bit to get out. So gets that 120%, looking to close it out with this Arsen, and will do so. I think the gun, I'm not sure if the gun actually interrupted Peckham or just forced him to drift back so that he couldn't recover.
Yeah, it was hard to tell from that scenario. But either way, does manage to get the stock after pretty much a terrible stock number one. There's a little bit of hope for dansdaman right now, but at the top of the screen, another Megawatt Nair. Peckham is 2 for 2 on killing blows with that specific move.
Fantastic job with it so far, and then swaps immediately right back to the Ram.
It's getting more and more scary as time goes for dansdaman. Arsen about to be back online, but as you mentioned earlier, Lass, it's not always the easiest to recover with.
Right, like on stage,
Arsen.
obviously Arsen is a great thing. You're never gonna catch me saying, man, I wish I didn't have Arsen right now. But off stage, it's a little bit difficult against Min-Miin and other characters that are strong two-framers. So we'll have to see if dansdaman can hold on to that stage control, and it looks like he is going to be able to get back on. Peckham missing that two-frame window once again. He's caught by the dash attack, and he's pushed deep out off, but he misses the back air.
Yeah, and goodbye, my friend Peckham, commanding victory game number one. dansdaman definitely going to have to kind of dig a little deep to figure out what adjustments need to be made to make this competitive.
Peckham just doing a fantastic job throughout that entire game, not just of getting huge damage punishes at every opportunity, but also at just controlling stage. dansdaman had so much trouble landing, had so much trouble finding neutral wins, had so much trouble finding any hit whatsoever. Sure, he did get some pretty big conversions when he did get a hit, but it was an uphill battle to find those hits in the first place.
I think it's one of those double-edged swords where on one hand you want to just get in Min-Miin's face because you're like, hey, that's kind of where Min-Miin is weaker, but at the same time it's so hard to get in that you almost need to slow it down so that you can find the few openings that a player like Peckham is going to give you, just so you can close the gap. You might not get a hit, but at least you can get closer to Min-Miin.
We're going to have to see on small battlefield if that is the correct stage, but I've actually heard a couple of Min-Miin players say that they prefer smaller stages. Zurzel specifically from Texas/Alabama was telling me that he actually really likes Smashville and small battlefield for the character because his arms cover the whole damn stage. So like, sure, there's less space for the Min-Miin to find away from you, but there's also nowhere to run.
I guess it depends on what type of player you are. Right now, though, small battlefield not seeming to really change anything for Peckham. Looking fantastic at the moment.
Early percent done by dansdaman, though. He's going to be able to get at least 30% on before the first Arsen comes out, but again, now he's got to recover with Arsen. Peckham misses it again. He's actually had a pretty hard time, except for that first one, two-framing the Arsen recovery. Like the very first time Arsen came out, Peckham two-framed it, and he hasn't done it since.
A little surprising because, as you were saying, Lass, it is a bit easier to actually two-frame that specific move because it's so linear and the timing is pretty much set in stone. Yeah,
but let me go ahead and say, before chat loses their mind, I'm not saying it's easy, I'm saying it's easier.
It's easy.
There's a difference.
No, I'm joking. I'll say it's easy. No, it's not. But a player like Peckham, you would expect to hit it a bit more. But at the same time, I guess it doesn't matter. When you are just controlling the stage like this, you don't need two frames.
Right. You're going to get a kill one way or the other. It's only a matter of time, it feels like. And It's only a matter of time until that megawatt nair connects. Did a lot of work during the first game, and looking like it's not going to slow down anytime soon as Peckham punishes the neutral get up with the megawatt.
Yeah, gonna take to the sky to try to wait out that intangibility. dansdaman does get some damage, some much needed damage, only 73%, but at this point you're just gonna take anything you can get.
Oh, looking to punish the landing. I don't like how much dansdaman is jumping here. I think it's good to jump in, but to jump in place against Min-Miin is just inviting her to punish your landing, and Peckham seems to have caught onto that pretty heavily. Been getting a lot of mileage off of that.
Definitely, I mean, it's true. I mean, Peckham is a phenomenal player. You kind of expect nothing less at this point.
Oh. F smash trying to catch Peckham jumping in, but only catching the air instead. Peckham looking for this megawatt hit, finds the landing there.
Peckham's timings are so good. Is Peckham a dancer?
I have no idea.
You know, these ups and downs, definitely just having the rhythm of how dansdaman wants to play.
I will go ahead and share the fun fact that Peckham did not play Smash, like any Smash game ever, before Min-Miin came out. Min-Miin came out, he went, hey, that looks pretty cool, and picked up the game with Min-Miin.
I don't know if that means you're carried or not at that point. Like,
he's just a guy who likes Min-Miin.
Yeah, I mean, look, Min-Miin was put in the game. Sakurai said it for Peckham, all right? Quote me. Don't quote me, but quote me.
I'll save that for later.
Arsene back online, but it might be too little too late. I mean, oh my goodness. Peckham.
Oh no.
Going for the 3-stock. Are we going to hit the 2-frame?
There's
We indeed are. One more.
There it is.
GG's, my friend. 3-stock Peckham making it look easy against dansdaman.
Well, we were talking a little bit at the start of that game about how it was kind of surprising, like, that Peckham wasn't hitting that 2-frame on the Arsene recovery. He was just saving it up. He was saving it for later. Found it at the very end there twice in a row.